Children, this is chapter 15, transport, and this is third part of this chapter on waterways and pipelines. So, waterway is the oldest and the cheapest form of transport in India. Inland water transport has lost its former importance due to the expansion of railway system and road system. Waterways are the cheapest mode of transport, and as India has a long coastline with navigable waterways which comprises of rivers, canals, lakes and backwaters, its development is very significant. Now, waterway is a fuel efficient and environment friendly mode of transport. It is used for carrying heavy and bulky goods. Despite all the favorable conditions, water transport in India provides 1% of the total transport of the country. Now, the inland waterways constitute navigable rivers, canals and backwaters. Backwaters means the lagoons. They are primarily used for transporting heavy goods, passengers within a country at a low cost. But inland waterway development is very insignificant and inadequate. The reason is that the rivers of peninsular India, the Deccan region, peninsular India means the lower part of India, which is triangular in shape and is surrounded by water body. So this is the peninsular India, and the rivers of peninsular India are seasonal because it gets water during rainy season, and in the rest of the seasons it remains dry. However, in the lower reaches, the Godavari, Krishna and the canals are navigable. But in northern India, all the perennial rivers such as Ganga, Brahmaputra and the tributaries, they have helped inland navigation in West Bengal and Bihar. Now in Kerala, the backwaters or the lagoons, they supply goods and passengers too. They are used for transporting goods and passengers, goods like spices, etc. Water transport can be divided into two types: inland waterways and national waterways. Now, inland waterways, the Central Water Transport Corporation CWTC has its headquarters at Kolkata. The transportation of goods by inland waterways in the Ganga, Brahmaputra, Hooghly and Sundarban regions are looked after CWTC. Now, Inland Waterways Authority of India came into existence on October 27, 1986 for the development and regulation of inland waterways for shipping and navigation. Its head office is in Noida. The National Waterways number 1. National Waterway number 1 is for River Ganga between Allahabad and Haldia. It is navigable up to Patna by mechanized boats and by ordinary boats up to Haridwar. National Waterway number 2, it is for Brahmaputra River between Sadia and Dhubri. This is shared by India and Bangladesh. National Waterway number 3, it is for West Coast Canal in Kerala between Kottapuram and Kollam in Kerala. IWAI, Inland Waterways Authority of India. So children, this was about the National Waterway 1, 2 and 3. Now National Waterway number 4, Kakinada to Pondicherry through canals and river Godavari along with Krishna River. The National Waterway 4 is the second longest waterway of India with total length of 1095 km in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. National Waterway number 5. It connects Orissa to West Bengal. It handles the traffic of cargo such as coal, fertilizers, cement and iron. Now major ports and shipping. The major ports are Kolkata, Haldia, Paradeep, Vishakhapatnam, Chennai, Ennore, Tuticorin, Cochin on western coast, Mumbai, Goa, New Mangaluru, Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, JNPT and Kandla. So children, on the western coast, the ports are Mumbai, Kandla, Marmagaon, New Mangalore, Kochi, and on the eastern coast, the ports are Kolkata, Chennai, Haldia, Paradeep, Vishakhapatnam, and Tuticorin. Jawaharlal Nehru Port of Mumbai is one of the major ports which is fully mechanized. The biggest port is Mumbai, which handles the largest number of ships as well as trade. Kandla port is in Gujarat, which compensates the loss of Karachi port, which is in Pakistan. Vishakhapatnam is the third largest port, and Kolkata is the largest inland port of Asia. Advantages of waterways. Waterways are cheapest means of transport. There is no need to construct waterway as they use river and seas. It is useful for bulky products. It is helpful in defense and it has less maintenance cost. Disadvantage of water transport, it has slow speed. During monsoon, navigation becomes difficult. It is more risky. The floods are caused and that is why it becomes difficult to ply boats in such rivers. The rivers of South India. Now children, this is a very important point. The rivers of South India flow in rocky areas, hence they are not fit for plying boats. Sometimes as reasoning, such questions are asked. Diversion of river water for irrigation purpose has also reduced the importance of inland water transport. The deforestation of hill ranges leading to erosion and setting have also been responsible for decline in water transport. However, for the northeast state of India, inland waterways are most important, especially during monsoon when parts of the region are isolated from the rest of the country. Now, coastal shipping. India has the largest merchant shipping fleet among developing countries and ranks 19th amongst the countries. Coastal shipping is one of the most important aspects of Indian transport network. It is most economical in fuel saving and environment friendly. It involves movement of goods and passengers from one port to another port within the country. Coastal shipping holds a great promise as it is more energy efficient and cheapest modes of transport for carriage of bulky goods like iron and steel, iron ore, coal, timber, etc. over long distances. Despite all facilities, the importance of inland waterways has declined because of road and rail transport, because the rivers have been diverted for the purpose of irrigation, because of deforestation of hill slopes, which leads to silting of the rivers. Silting means the river beds are full of mud, so the river water becomes sluggish, and as the depth is not more, so it is not easy to ply boats on such rivers. The transport is not as fast as airways. The seasonal variation in the volume of water affects navigability of rivers, especially in South India. South India is a rocky region, so there are frequent waterfalls, and that is why navigation is not possible in South India. Now, problems of inland waterways: the rivers are not navigable, peninsular rivers, and they have very little water in the other seasons apart from rainy season. They are dependent on monsoon. Only Krishna and Godavari have water throughout the year. They are the perennial rivers. The Buckingham Canal in Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, is used for navigation. The Mandovi and Zuari rivers in Goa is used as waterways. The western coast in Kerala, the backwaters serve as means of navigation. So, what is transported in Kerala by boats? Spices, coconuts, raw rubber, pepper, cashew nuts, etc. Advantages of coastal shipping: environment friendly, they save fuel. The coastal industries such as fisheries are dependent on coastal shipping. It reduces the burden on rail and road transport. It provides employment to many. It promotes tourism. Its capital investment is much less as compared to other modes of transport. Problems of Indian ports: Indian ports are not well connected with their hinterland. The ports are not well planned, lack facilities, very congested. There is heavy pressure on cargo. The coastal fleet is aging fast. Nearly 52% of the tonnage is already due to replacement. This is imbalance. There is imbalance in coastal traffic movement as traffic is not equally available in both directions. Hence, it makes it necessary for the ship to take the return journey. Slow handling of cargo at port and undue port delays inflict heavy losses on shipping companies. Pipeline transport: pipeline are the most convenient, efficient, and economical mode of transporting liquids like petroleum, petroleum products, natural gas, water, milk, etc. Even solids also can be transported through pipelines after converting them into slurry. Slurry means a very filthy, semi solid product which can easily be transported. Now, transportation of pipelines is a new development in India. Pipelines have received the increasing pressure on the existing surface transport system. Pipelines have both advantages and disadvantages. They are ideally suited to transport the liquids and gases. They are laid through difficult terrains as well as underwater. It involves very low energy consumption. It needs little maintenance. Pipelines are safe, accident free, and environment friendly. Now, disadvantages of pipelines: it is not flexible, it is used for few fixed points, its capacity cannot be increased once it is laid. It's difficult to make security arrangements for pipelines. Underground pipelines cannot be easily repaired, and detection of leakage is also difficult.